Hello and welcome to Tip Talk Thursday. Yes, you heard that right, triple T. Tip Talk Thursday, where every Thursday we talk about a single tip that you can use to be the best you can be in your mental health. I consider today's tip the most important piece of advice that I can give you if you're struggling with depressive symptoms. It's very easy in concept, but sometimes it's very difficult to put in action. I know this from experience. The golden rule when you are experiencing symptoms of depression, maybe it's hopelessness, maybe it's worthlessness, maybe you feel guilt, maybe you feel regret about certain things and you're down and out. The golden rule: quit drinking immediately. Do not consume alcohol when you are experiencing depressive symptoms. When you're going through some hardship, I know how difficult it can be to not reach for the bottle, not reach for the can of beer, not go to the fridge and crack open a nice cold beer just to kind of give you that sense of comfort. I know all too well about that. But I'm going to tell you right now, that's the worst thing you could possibly do when you are struggling in this disorder. I know what it's like when your symptoms are throbbing, and it's so easy to rationalize a drink. It is so easy because you just want to find a little bit of reprieve in whatever mental storm you're going through. You just want to find a little bit of comfort, just to relax, take a deep breath, and just have a drink. Just the one drink, right? Just the one drink. And why? Because it numbs the pain. But unfortunately, it numbs the pain temporarily. I guarantee you that if you get into the habit of reaching for a bottle, reaching for a can of beer every time that you feel you need a drink because you're feeling the storm of these symptoms, you're going down a really dangerous path. I've been there, 11:30 at night, everybody's in bed, by myself. It is so easy, just walk out to the garage, open up that fridge, grab a cold beer. Just one, right? Just one. But it never stops at one. At least it never did for me. Now, I never had necessarily an alcohol problem. However, it would be nothing, no exaggeration to say that on a nightly basis, I could easily put back 4 to 6 beer, get up, go to work, and the next morning, and just continue that cycle. But there's some real dangers to falling into that type of habit by adopting that type of behavior when you are experiencing symptoms of depression. When I got my referral from my family doctor to go see a psychiatrist, I was with my psychiatrist for 13 months. Okay, I mean, it wasn't every day, but depending on the severity of my symptoms at the time, it could have been weekly, could have been monthly, or whatever the case might be. And during that period of time, I gave up drinking. I gave it up because I was in the most fragile state that you could imagine. I was vulnerable. And the last thing I needed was an external influence affecting my ability to think clearly, logically, and rationally. Firstly, alcohol is a substance with dependence-producing properties, which means it's addictive, all right? And you may not necessarily turn into a full-blown alcoholic by having some drinks while you're dealing with your depressive symptoms. However, it's hard to stop at just one. It's hard to stop at just two. At least it was in my experience. It's easy to rationalize. I'm just going to go to the fridge, just going to have one beer before bed. And after a while, there's 3 or 4 cans sitting on the counter. And it's time to go to bed, and I'm feeling groggy, I'm feeling kind of blah. Repeat that the next night, repeat it the next night. Eventually, it's going to become such a habit, it's going to become addictive, and it's going to be very, very difficult to manage your depressive symptoms when you're in a situation where you're struggling with alcohol addiction. Number 2, alcohol is in and of itself a depressant. So it doesn't make any sense to take a depressant if you're already feeling depressed. All right, it depresses our central nervous system. It affects our decision making. If you've ever been intoxicated, you're not having rational, deep conversations. You're basically drooling and having a hard time putting one foot in front of the other. Your coordination's all out of whack. It doesn't make any sense. Why would you take a depressant if you're feeling depressed? That would be like, I can't sleep, so I'm going to have a cup of coffee. All right, it's not going to help. It's going to make things worse. And studies have shown that alcohol can increase the likelihood, the frequency, and the severity of suicidal thinking. So this is where we draw the dangerous connection between alcohol consumption and depressive symptoms. It is not a good mix. And number 3, according to the American Addiction Centers, alcohol consumption can interfere with recovery in depression. So if you're trying to do something good for yourself, if you're trying to fight depressive symptoms, the last thing you want to do is start drinking, because it is known to impede your ability to recover or to effectively manage your depressive symptoms. And studies have also shown that even mild to moderate drinking can worsen depressive symptoms. So with all of this said, when dealing with depressive symptoms, when you're struggling, the golden rule, number 1 thing you need to do is eliminate alcohol from your diet. Do not consume alcohol, okay? It doesn't mean you have to give up alcohol forever, all right? Yes, I gave it up for a year because I needed to focus on recovery. I needed to focus on healing, okay? And alcohol was not going to help me with that. If nothing else, based on what I just shared with you, it's going to take me in a different direction. It's going to take me in a direction that I did not want to go in.